Welcome to Perfect Mode. And first off, let me start by telling y'all that we love y'all. We're grateful for the opportunity to be anywhere sharing our thoughts, hopefully, in helping you realize you're perfect because you are perfect. And the reason why we can unapologetically say that is because I know that you are numero uno, one of one. You cannot be replicated. And the only way that you would think that you're not perfect is if you're looking at somebody else and saying, I'm not them. But guess what? You are you, and that's all you need. And of course, it's yours truly, Troy Washington, your friendly neighborhood realtor. And I have my boy Jay Clay, spiritual rapper and teacher. And we about to get into it today. And it's gonna be a great day. So what up, Jay?
What's up? Happy day. Season 4. Man,
Season
we've been doing this.
four.
Well, we just completed 3 whole years of Perfect Mode, and this is the start of the fourth. Uh, Man, that's dope. And again, I never thought we'd be doing it this long. I never thought I'd get so much joy from doing this. I never thought it will have so many just positive effects. But yeah, man, it's
And,
beautiful.
and, and before we get into it, I want to just touch on what you just said real quick. You never thought it would be going this long, but you never thought you would get so much joy. And that's the beauty of everything that we always try to let everybody know. You
Yeah,
do things for the love, you do it for the joy, and there's no time limit on love and joy. You just keep on being in love and joyous, and it can take you from now to eternity. And so, I love that, bro, because I have the same sentiment as you. Like, I never knew, but the one thing that I can tell you that I look forward to every week, man, is jumping on, expressing who we are, showing people that they can do the same thing, and giving and hopefully empowering people to be able to do the same thing that we're doing. But Jay,
yeah,
I want you to kick off this topic for us today, man. Since it's season 4, we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
yeah, man. That the boundaries, man. I've been hearing a lot. They say creating boundaries is healthy, and I don't know if I agree with that. Like it's because you can have a tendency to get trapped in the boundaries you create, and then you wonder why you feel so secluded and just cut off from the world in a sense, or just not in sync. But I want to talk about it. Yeah, I want to talk about could it really be healthy to create boundaries? Are there some boundaries that are healthy and some that are not? Are all? Are none? Yeah, all of it.
So I guess kicking it off, just to give you my first frame of thought when you said when we talk about what we would consider to be the unhealthy part of setting boundaries. And I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on that, and it's about the world that you create with the boundaries. Because and what I mean by that is, if I say that, I'm not going to be around these people, or I'm not going to do these things, from the moment I make that determination, then I start to craft a world that's tied to that. This is the reason why I don't want to be around these people. This is the reason why I don't want to do these things. I start to deem things bad or negative, or I start to deem things in a sense that I cannot touch. And I know that I've gone a number of times in my life where I've literally created a boundary on something, and then when I later changed my mind, I felt like I missed out on something. I felt like I missed the boat on a friendship. I found out that what I thought was not true, and it was not what my initial thought was. It was what I created because of the boundary that I set. But that's just my first frame of thought. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even me when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about some boundaries I've created too, and even some that I still have that again I didn't realize I have, which is why I like these conversations because it gets me to look at myself and realize, oh man, I have that boundary. For example, so I like planning, right? But then let's say I execute a plan and it is others involved, and maybe the others involved might have dropped the ball or something. I don't like that, but I'm cool with just going with the flow. So it's like if the plan wasn't made, like the that boundary wasn't set, then I wouldn't have jumped in it. But the answer isn't to not plan anymore because planning so much comes from planning, but it's to realize the plan is not going to go according to plan. Things are going to go wrong. People are going to mess up, including myself, and to just roll with the punches always, so to
You
speak.
you know what that makes me think of? It's funny that in creating boundaries for yourself, you create boundaries for other people. And the
Man,
reality of it is, you cannot create boundaries for other people, especially if you're at ends with the boundaries that you have for yourself. Because that's when you said it, it was like, for me, I'm setting this stage, and this is the way that it has to go. Now, in me setting this stage, y'all have to perform in this way too. And because y'all don't perform in this way, now I'm going to remove myself from the situation because my boundaries say I cannot deal with people that don't have my boundaries. And it's crazy that we can be so complex in mentality, but so simple with reaction. But go ahead, Jay.
Man, well, since you brought that up, we might as well talk about the titles. Because man,
Yeah.
that's the biggest problems in relationships in general, like any kind of relationships, romantic, friendship, whatever, family, relative. The title holds a meaning in your mind, and it probably holds a different meaning in another person's mind. And when people aren't living up to that meaning that you gave it, even though they didn't agree to the standards of that meaning, it causes problems. And I didn't realize that until you just said we create boundaries for other people. And I was like, how do we create boundaries for other people? But we do, because we say you gotta live like this if you want to be around me, or you gotta, and you lose something there. Like it's, I don't know. People can't be
Bro,
themselves.
listen to me, man. And I'm not lying to you. And this is shouts out to my wife, Charnay Washington, dopest on the planet. But like there have been times, man, where we got into the simplest argument over a word. And it was because of my interpretation of it and her interpretation of it. She's saying that she's not meaning this, and I'm saying, yes, you are meaning this to me, meaning this because this is what this word means. And she would come back and tell me, well, this is not what this word means. And it's the funniest part about it all in these situations, we would go to the dictionary, right? And then in the dictionary, it would have a different meaning than both of us have. It would be more direct based off of whatever their interpretation is. And again, that's just a simple example, but there have been plenty times in just communication, like you said, in a relationship, we've deemed this is what a relationship looks like. I feel like every relationship requires something. She feels like every relationship doesn't require something, right? Now, this is what's funny about it. She would tell me, well, my relationships don't require anything, but this is what they have to have. And she doesn't look at that as a requirement. And it's that little word or these boundaries that we set that makes us disconnected. And it's something that we all have to work through in different way, forms, or fashions. But like that is it. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I talked to guys about this, and I don't know if it's the same for women, but like guys can see their potential partners or whatever as just perfect. But as soon as that title comes, things change. You got to act accordingly because you're my something. You're my this, my that. It's like we put that property on them. But again, it's the same thing for family members. It's like my parent, you my parents, you're supposed to do this. You my siblings, you're supposed to do this. You my cousin, you my best friend, you're supposed to do this. And it's like, whoa, yeah, I can be this to you, but this doesn't mean I'm obligated to do anything. And again, like we only in our own mind put these boundaries up on other people, but we're also putting it on ourselves too. We're saying this is the only way I can interact with you ever. So it's like, again, you lose out on that creativity, and creativity is life.